Hello, my name is Charles Blackbird with First Peoples Development. I will be providing you with a tutorial for the Assets Quarterly Monthly Progress Report. In the first page, you will see the fiscal year of 2015-16, and that will change with each following year. You will be filling out the sub-agreement holder name, so you would put your name in there. If it was Sandy Bay Employment and Training or Long Plain Employment and Training, a contact name would be the contact of the coordinator, phone number, fax, and what's important here is the period covered. So it would be April 1st to June 30th or July 31st to September 30th, whatever period that you're reporting. And in the client targets, you would indicate in there what your targets are for that period, whether it's 30 clients or 50 clients. You would have to determine the number of CRF clients as well as the EI clients. So, moving right along. Part 1, Summary of Project Activities. Please discuss successes in delivering training programs. So, in this is the first question of 3 questions. Here you would want to record how you deliver your training, the successes of your administration as well as your clients. So, you could either have community-based contact training, or you would be purchasing single seats, all of which would need to be in your annual operational plan in order to be eligible for expenses. This reporting period, we, for example, would say stuff like, this reporting period we completed our heavy equipment operating program. We had 15 graduates, all scored in the 80 percentile, and completed the program with 100% attendance, for example. Since the completion of the program, 10 have moved on to work with Manitoba Hydro, for example. The second question asks, please discuss lessons learned in delivering training programs and administration. So here you would record anything you learned while involved with a training program. For example, you learned who are the key players when setting up a heavy equipment training program, and that you would know this for future purposes. You learned how to negotiate the costs for the delivery of the program. You learned how to prepare budgets for the program and for the participants. So basically you would say anything that new that you learned during the coordination of the program. The third question, part 1, please discuss challenges and solutions in delivering training programs. Discuss here any challenges that you experience when finding appropriate training for your client. Purchasing training, getting your clients to the training program, etc. So you would say stuff like challenges could have been securing funding, finding partners, recruiting of suitable participants. Participants didn't have rides to the training site, or participants may have not had driver's license. Also, they could have had issues finding daycare. You could solutions you could possibly have would be that you managed to meet with other program managers and you created partnerships and therefore secured additional funding. You could have arranged for rides for the participants that didn't have rides or didn't have driver's license. Just solutions to issues that come up. We will move on to part two. Part two is your training information. So basically here you are just listing the name of the training program and institution. For example, cooking at Red River Community College. The name of the client would go in the second column. In the section information on the number of participants, you would indicate whether they have completed the program or they are now employed or they have returned to school or perhaps they withdrew and did not complete or it is still in progress. In the other information column, you would indicate whether the EI eligibility was done and whether or not this client was entered into ARMS. In part three is the report on minimum levels of service. In this section, you would report on new clients that are not funded through assets and or non-band members that have come to your office looking for services. So A, in part three, you would indicate the date. So if it's April, perhaps in April you might have had 10 clients drop in. So you would indicate that April 2015 or April 2016, drop-in clients served, you may have had 10, and they were there. Perhaps they were doing an EI application, or they came and did a job search, or resume writing. Whatever the case may be, you would need to just indicate the month and the number of clients and the type of service that was provided. Part B is a little more detail. This is where you would have done a service needs assessment, and here you would need to indicate the date, the name of the client's address and phone number, and a brief description of the services that were provided. Again, it could be job search, updating a resume, using the phone, maybe sending out applications or resumes to different employers. Whatever the case may be, you just need to indicate the type of service that you provided for your client. Part 4 is reporting on formal partnerships. Only report new partnerships for the period that you are reporting, or perhaps a program could be ending. So in column 1, project description, so you would need to include the name of the project or the partnership that you have. So for example, you may have in here, there's an example provided in the documents as course safety, specialized safety courses on environmental safety to become self-employed, and example. Names of the second column number 2, you would put on here the names of the organizations involved. So it could be uh, the assets program, you could be perhaps maybe you're working with Assiniboine Community College, Red River College, Robertson College, whoever is your partner in the delivery of the training program. The type of organization, column 3, there are several examples. It would be an Aboriginal organization, federal department or agency, provincial department or agency, could be a local government, education or training institution, community service organization, ESD service provider, etc. So you would just indicate whichever best fits the partner in the program. Column 4, sector for employer organizations only. I wouldn't worry about completing that. Let's just move on to column 5. Column 5 is the duration. So this would be the date that you had started your training. So your program could have started April 1st, 2015 and completed in July 31st, 2015, for example. Column 6, contribution. Under monetary, you would indicate the amount of funding that was used during this program. The other type of funding would be in-kind, and in-kind refers to what the provider or the community could provide. In-kind could be instructional services. It could be the use of a facility. The costs of hydro and anything else that's related to it. And you can put a value on that. You can estimate. For example, if you use the facility for 2 weeks or 2 months, and it would normally cost $50 a day times 20 days would give you your estimated cost. Column 7, results achieved during the reporting period. So you would just indicate the number of people that completed the training. So maybe if you started off with 10, 8 completed, and 4 are now employed. Column 8 is the agreement type. We need to know what kind of an agreement. Is it a memorandum of understanding? Is it a letter of intent? Is it a contribution agreement, or is it a contract? So you need to complete all the 8 columns there. Moving on to moving to part 5, success stories. Success stories are to be completed by the coordinator. In here, you could either interview the client in person, or it can be done other ways, email or over the phone. And you just need to complete the participant's information, the name of the participant, its address, the name of the program, location of the program, the start date, the end date, and the amount of Service Canada's funding that was used, and if there was any other partners. Also, you would need to ask, fill in the answers for what were you doing at the time you applied for this program. You just indicate that you were either unemployed, living on social assistance, or you were on employment insurance, or just at home. And what motivated you to apply and to enroll to this program? Also, you need to provide general description of the program. What was your biggest challenge? What did you find most rewarding or enjoyable? Where are you working now or returning to school? Is this a result of the program? Simple yes or no. How has this experience impacted you, your family, friends, or the community? I can do it again. I don't know what happened there. I thought I was stopping it. But I think it kept going.
Stop word. Yeah, it stopped.
I want to listen to it to see if I might have not. I'll do it one more time if I have to. It's pretty quick.
Where did it go? I think that's the old one.
In the sub-agreement holder name, you would place the
That's
name
not
of
it.
your community.
No, that's not it.
Below that, the contact name, where you would be putting your name or the individual's name that. No, that's not today's.
What the heck happened to the one you had? Show recording monitor.
I hit that yellow one in the middle there, the red, the green, and the yellow. I hit the yellow one. I thought I was gonna pause it, and then just went to this.
Because each time before it just kind of stops.